Hi, I'm OnThe. Welcome to another episode of OnThe's Workshop. Got the bandsaw running, time for wheels. Yeah, we're back on it. Let's see, that is 10 projects ago, 10 videos ago, I'm back on doing the wheels. This is hopefully one of the last things that I do until the weather warms up and I take it outside and paint it. So let's get started. When we first started this idea, I intended to just attach the casters to these steel plates, put a little tab on the top of the steel plate, and then bolt it to the leg. I was thinking that when the bandsaw set flat, the wheels would be touching, but they wouldn't be supporting the weight of the bandsaw. Then when I picked up on the front end of the bandsaw, the wheels would touch and I'd be able to wheel it around like a handcart. And that was a good idea 11 videos ago. Now, since then, I've done more work with the bandsaw and realized that these legs, even though they're better than the Harbor Freight legs, they're a little thicker, they still have a little give to them. So I decided to take this steel plate and weld these caster plates to it so that it will bridge across between the two legs. That'll stiffen those legs up quite a bit. There's a shelf in there that keeps them from spreading, but this back plate is unsupported. So I thought this steel plate is going to make it so that those two legs are tied together. The casters won't wobble back and forth then. Should make it a lot stronger. At least that's the theory. First thing I need to do is drill holes so that I can bolt these casters on. These are inexpensive casters that I picked up at Harbor Freight. They're okay. There's nothing wrong with them. They'll support the load because almost all the time they're not going to be doing anything. They're just going to be sitting there. It's only when I'm moving the bandsaw around that it's going to actually do any work. And that's more than heavy enough to handle that kind of effort. But I found that as soon as I weld these things onto something, or weld anything onto something, especially with something like this is going to break as soon as I weld it on. And then I got to cut it off and start over again. So I'm going to drill some holes in this so that I can bolt these casters onto these steel plates. That way if something happens to the caster, I just unbolt it and put a new one on. Casters are cheap. They were $3 a piece, and I can always get more. Nice thing about vice grips, they let you hold things while you're hitting them. Set them so they lock down. And there you go. Now, if I was to want to make a bunch of these things, I probably would make a better fixture. But for two, that works pretty good. Once I got the holes marked, I can come back here on the flat spot and punch these holes a little deeper. Now vices have this thing on the back, and people mistakenly call that an anvil. It's not. This is cast iron. It's okay for a little light work and maybe doing something like this. That's about as heavy as you want to go. You start smacking on it too much, you're gonna crack that casting. And once you crack this thing, the whole vise is weak, because that supports the whole back end of the vise. So this is a nice thing for tapping on, but don't be beating on it. And that little horn back there, that's just for looks. You go hitting anything on that horn, you're going to snap it right off. It's just cast iron. After I clamp the part in the vise, I bring the long end up against the beam of the drill press. If I don't have a long end, then I use the back of the vise itself to come up against the drill press. Then I bring the drill bit down and touch the center punch mark. That way I know I'm centered on it. Start the drill press and away we go. I'm using 1/4 inch bolts. So I'm drilling 21/64 holes. That's a clearance hole for 1/4 inch bolts. Quick rule of thumb when drilling a hole. A 1-inch hole, you want to run the drill bit about 360. For a 1/4-20 hole, you want to run 4 times faster than that. For a 2-inch hole, you want to run half as fast. It's out of full bubble. So that's probably 3 or 4 degrees. So first thing I need to do is loosen the legs up. Took a bit of doing, but I got it level. Now I just got to tighten up the rest of the bolts. Okay, we'll use the squirt welder to tack it up. And I can drill those holes and bolt those legs on. Just about perfect. Okay, a few dollars worth of paint, a little bit of time. Come spring, this is going to look like brand new. Going to work like new too. So I'm very happy with the result. Well, that seems to have worked. If you have any suggestions for a new video, questions about today's video, or any of the other videos on the channel, just drop a note in the comments. You know I read them all. Thanks for watching.